In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only peace. There is only peace. Peace that heals, peace that sets us free. There is only peace. There is only joy. There is only joy. Joy that heals, joy that sets us free. There is only joy. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. Good morning, Unity Church of Raleigh. Let's celebrate the ending of a year, preparing for a new year. Stand if you can. Sing this first song in our bulletin. I don't know about you, but before Unity, I would hold on to so many things. But now we know better, yes, amen? We're going to release and let it go. I release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Let's do that again. I release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart
So, three sisters were the best of friends. They were so close that they lived together. Now, one was 94 years old, one was 96 years old, and one was 98 years old. Now, the 98-year-old decided to take a bath one morning. So she runs the water, and she steps into the tub. Then she thinks a minute. She calls down, "Sis, was I getting into or out of the tub?" Now, the 96-year-old hears her. And she calls up, "Okay, I don't know, I'm coming right up to check." And she starts up the stairs. As she starts walking, she pauses and her little brow wrinkles and she thinks, And she calls out, "Hey sis, was I going up the stairs or down the stairs?" Now the 94-year-old sister is downstairs in the kitchen and she's drinking a cup of tea. And she rolls her eyes. She's been listening to all of this and she mutters to herself, "Gee, I sure hope I don't ever get that forgetful. Knock on wood." And then she calls out, "I'll be up in a minute to help you two, as soon as I see who's at the door." Sometimes this world moves so fast, we don't know if we're coming or going. But unity reminds us that the one thing that never changes, that we can always count on, is that universal mind is for us, that we were made by our Creator for success. But we have to, in order to enjoy those gifts of spirit, the peace, love, joy, prosperity, health, and happiness, we have to make room for them. Yes. And that means that we have to let go of those things, those thoughts and behaviors and ways of being that no longer serve us. We have to just let that stuff go. We have to make room because sometimes they can block our good. So that means we have to forgive the old hurts. We have to forgive the old lacks. We have to forgive the old dis-ease. We have to forgive the old angers. We have to forgive the old whatevers and be willing to begin anew, to start fresh right here and right now. So it is the new year, a time in unity for remembering that we always have a choice. We can say no to the things that we don't want, and we can say yes to the beautiful, amazing, wonderful things that we do want. Yeah. So today we light our Christ candle for Ezekiel 11:19. "And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh." And we affirm, "Today I release any thoughts that no longer serve me and open to the fullness and richness of my life." So good morning.
Good morning.
I greet you in the name of Jesus Christ and in the warm and loving spirit of Unity Church of Raleigh. In unity, we welcome all people and honor the God of your understanding. We bless all churches and spiritual groups throughout the world because we know we are all sons and daughters of the same loving Creator. So we welcome everybody. We also welcome everyone who is watching us via the live stream. Good morning and thanks for being with us. My name is Melanie and I'm your platform leader. Today's musicians are Greg and Susan, Nisha, Alan, and Peggy, and our speaker is Reverend Beverly Backover. So now let's stand and say together our statement of faith, which you can find on the inside front cover of your bulletin. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life and affairs, God the good. With that, let's walk around the room and say good morning to each other. See if I can.
All right. We want to remain standing and sing about what we're going to celebrate this year. What we're going to start our day. What are we going to choose this year? I start my day with love. I start my day with love. That's what I get more of. Love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of. Love. I choose love, love, love. Come on. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Next verse. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel the sweet release of peace. Yeah, yeah. When I start my day with peace, when I start my day with peace, I feel the sweet release of peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. That's right. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Back to the top. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of. Love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of. Love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose love. Amen to love. All right. Should be all set for you now.
That was fun. You know, we always begin our announcements with gratitude. And today I am grateful for Jessica and Mikhail Pinvin Crew. They're right over here. Yes. They have decided to step away from the building coordinator positions that they have held for 6 years with this church. Amazing. They have done a fabulous job of setting the sacred space for this church. And they have decided that they just want to be church family and volunteer. We all saw Mikhail singing. Jessica's always visiting and helping out. And so today is all about appreciating them. So shall we give them a unity blessing? These flowers are actually for you guys. We used them in a wedding yesterday, but they are for you. I got the biggest bouquet from a local farmer I could for you two. And we have some gift cards for y'all. Come on up. And that way we can all see them. You are welcome. And now turn and face this your church family, and every team leader's eyeballing you, going, oh yeah, one are on this team and that team. So are you ready? We love, we bless, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And that is the truth. Thank you so much for everything you have done for us. It's so funny, because you know we had a wedding yesterday. They were guests. And I walk into the kitchen, and Mikhail is cooking. I said, what are you doing? And she says, Mikhail, we're guests. He goes, I can't help it. Christmas candlelight service, he's singing. He's a volunteer singing. I walk into the kitchen, and he knows my reputation with coffee. He's making coffee, and they're helping, putting stuff out. You guys are volunteering. So they are amazing, and we will miss you in this role, but we look for, And we're going to hunt them down if they're not here at least 2 Sundays a month, right? Everybody's with me? Okay, good. So hello to everybody, the guests who are with us for the first time today. You honor us with your presence. And now we invite the children to go have a great day in Sunday school. So today after the service, yum yum, church potluck. We have all kinds of wonderful food. There's plenty. If you didn't bring anything, it is okay. We're a Fishes and Loaves church. Just join us for lunch after the service. Oops. It's so much fun. Ready? Oh, no. Sorry. Oh, scrambled eggs, Craig says. After the service, we are undecorating the church. Yes, it is that time of year. So if you would like to help us take down the tree and the ornaments and the lights and everything, see me after the service. We're going to drag the boxes out and we'll knock it out in no time flat. Rev Bev's class, Lessons in Truth, meet this Wednesday at 7:30. Join us. Teddy Bear Sundays in January. We are bringing in new, small, no glitter, stuffed animals to give to the children at the Ronald McDonald House, and then we'll bless them at the end of January. So thank you for bringing all those stuffed animals in. And next Sunday after the service, the fundraising team, the spiritual social action team, and the men's group are all getting together to brainstorm some kind of community service event and to work on hearts and unity. The fundraising team will continue with that. So if you'd like to join us, please do. This is the last Sunday for Loose Change for Change for Rusinga Island. Yes, Becky? Price tags must be on those animals. Thank you, Becky. Yes, so we need the little tags on those animals. And last, we have a full chair takedown after the service. And now I'd like to hand the service over to the music team for special music before our burning bowl ceremony.
Good morning. This is my New Year's song that I wrote a few years back. Okay, so. 1, 2, 3, 4. We begin again in the new year. We celebrate endings and beginnings. We gather with those who are dear. But this year here's a special message I'm sending. This message is for to me. This year I make a promise to be better every day and be the love and generosity I want to see. So I will see more of it in my world in every way. I want to see a world with justice and peace. I want a world without hunger, fear, or homelessness. I see a world where joy will always increase. I see a world that's safe and without loneliness. This message is for this year I make a promise to be better every day and be the love and generosity I want to see. So I will see more of it in my world in every way. I want to see all these things inside myself. So at the end of my days in this form, wake up with new chances, I begin again. Filled with all these thoughts, my world will transform. This message is for the new year. I sing it to me. This year I make a promise to be better every day and be the love and generosity I want to see. So I will see more of it in my world, in every way. Thank you.
I'm blessed today. I have all these people helping me get up here. My goodness, what are they going to do when I can do it on my own? Coming soon to a theater near you. But I have had people say that they want, even when I can do it on my own, for Greg to escort me up there because people have said that we're cute. So good morning. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. We certainly did. We had the family over for Christmas, and of course you have to have a Grammy B. Papa G holiday story. Because I think until it's all said and done, there will always be this Papa G, Grammy B rivalry going on. So our granddaughter came over, and of course, she runs through the door with a Papa G, and she goes flying around, and she puts her arms around his legs, and I'm kind of just, and they get on the train, which is my lift to get up and down the stairs, and they go up there, and he's teaching her how to count with using pool balls, and that's his one, and so they're up there counting, and then she's singing in the microphone and playing on the piano, and she's doing all these wonderful Papa G things, and Grammy B is in the kitchen cooking. And so that goes on, and we have our dinner, and we read our traditional How the Grinch Stole Christmas book. And we read it, and she was thrilled with that, and then we open presents. I win, right? I win. I win because Papa G gave me this really, really pretty scene. You know, it's one of these snow scenes with moving parts. And so I open it and I have it in my lap, and it's got lights going, and all of a sudden, Abby comes over and she crawls up on the chair and she gets in my lap and she starts looking at all the things spinning and whirling, and I have arrived. My granddaughter is in my lap, and she's sitting with me. And there was a man and a woman and a child on the very top of it. And she goes, it's going to make me cry. She goes, that's Papa G, that's Grammy B, and that's me. So that's your Christmas story of the Papa G, Grammy B sagas. So today's a different service, and of course we've started it a little different. You probably noticed we have taken away the meditation time because the whole service really is our meditation time. And so I want to talk a little bit about what this service is about and how we can get the most out of it for ourselves and in our thinking and our moving into our new experience and into 2019, because it's only a couple of days away. January, and I tell you this every January, was named for the god Janus. And Janus was the god of hallways and corridors and doors and stairways. He was the guardian of all of that. But Janus had an interesting thing. He had two faces. One was facing forward and one was facing back. Now, we're not designed that way. We're designed to face forward. And when we don't keep facing forward, you ever try walking, not facing forward? You know, in learning how to walk again and do these things again, it became very clear to me that when I tried to look back and walk at the same time, it wasn't a good idea. It did not work well. And so in the whole process with Janus, Janus was able to see in both ways. You know, he was able to look both ways. And I don't know about you, but when I grew up crossing the street, my parents would always say, make sure you look both ways. Make sure you look to the right and you look to the left. Before you do anything, look both ways. Evaluate what's going to happen. And so Janus was the god that was able to evaluate what happened in the past, and then he stood in the threshold of the door as the protector of that threshold. And it was that place where he was able to look behind, but also project into the future what it is that he wanted to experience. And that we have that role in our world and in our life. And that role is for us to project into our future what it is that we want to experience. The ancients said that the eyes were the fountains of the soul, and we could look our future and step into it. If that makes sense. We could look our future and we could step into it. And so it became a very important part of our process to be able to do that. Well, Janus also teaches us that when we look in the past, how many of you are past lookers? How many of you are looking into the past 20, 30 years ago? Sometimes. How many are you looking in the past when it comes to what didn't happen the way you thought it should? We all have a tendency to do that. We're past lookers and we're past livers, and we get ourselves back there. And once we get back there, it's very hard for us to look forward and to project something new into our future. What we wind up doing is taking that old stuff and bringing it into the new year. We wind up bringing the old hurts and the old limitations and the old frustrations and the old fears and the old aggravations and the old whatever it is, and we drag it along as the proverbial ball and chain. You know, just think of that for a minute. You know, we lock ourselves into something, and we're trying to move into something different, and we're trying to move into a new experience, but we're dragging all this stuff behind us. Do you ever try to grab onto something when your hands are full? When you're like this, trying to hold on to what you probably should have let go of a long time ago, and you're being offered something new and you can't quite figure out how to grab it, and if you grab it, it falls through your hands. Well, part of our process today with our Burning Bowl service is to be able to let go, excuse me, of those things that we don't need to hold on to anymore, so that we can freely and easily move into our new year, into our new experience. Whatever the limitation is, we don't have to accept it as a finality. Whatever our frustration it is, we don't have to accept it as a finality. And sometimes we do. Sometimes we hold on to that limitation and we grab onto it, and that's as far as we go. And what we want to do today is think about the things that we've kept and we've held on to that have kept us from moving forward in our lives and in our world. You know, one of the fun stories wasn't so fun for John the Baptist, but it's a fun story because John the Baptist, when he wound up in prison, he was in this prison and he had done so much for Jesus, but Jesus wasn't coming to do anything for him. He was in prison, and Jesus didn't come along and kind of magically make the locks fall down and the doors open and make an earthquake so he could go on with his life. And so John said to his disciples, go and find Jesus and ask him, and it's a very touching question, ask him if he was really the one. In other words, are you really the one that I need to be following? Are you really the one that I've dedicated my life to, that I'm about to lose my life because of? Are you really the one? Have you ever said that? You know, when things are going wrong and things keep coming back at us and we can't figure out why we keep doing the same thing and why the same things keep happening over and over again, is this really the way that we're engaged in here? And so John's disciples, they go off and they see Jesus, and they were fascinated by what Jesus had to say. And they were so fascinated that they almost forgot to ask the question. And so when they finally got to Jesus and were able to ask the question, Jesus didn't say yes or no, which I found fascinating. He didn't say yes or no. He said, go back and tell John what you see. People are being fed. The lame are being healed. Dead are being risen. All the good that you see, go back and tell him about that, because on the other side of that prison wall, which is all John could see, was that prison wall, that limitation that he accepted as a finality. And we all have our prison walls that we've built around us. Jesus said, look over the wall and see all of this, all the wonder, all the beauty, all the possibilities. Look at that. Let that be your focus. And your life will change. And so when we do our burning bowl service, it's about looking at what are those limitations that we want to let go of. And in the process, looking over that wall of those limitations and seeing what's on the other side, so that when we let go of them, and then we move into the phase of writing our letter for 2019, the things that we want to experience, the things that we want to have in our lives, the things that we want to see unfolding, we can see them more clearly because we're looking over the limitation, and it's no longer a finality. It's just something to step over. Okay? It's just something to step over. So that's where this service becomes a meditation. In your bulletin, you have a couple of things. There's an envelope. And there's a letter, really, to write, and you'll find a piece of paper. Now, this piece of paper that you'll find in here is for you to write down what you want to let go of. What are your limitations? What are your fears? What are your anxieties that you've held on to long enough? And you recognize finally that they're stumbling blocks, that they're keeping you from really, really having and enjoying your life. That's what we write down here. And if you need a pen or a pencil, just raise your hands, and Louise has them, I believe. Louise and Mary, just raise your hands and they'll give you one. So I'm going to ask Susan if she would be so kind as to the two services that are Susan's. We really use Susan a lot to just play some background music as we go into this. And so let's close our eyes for a moment. Let's close our eyes and we recognize that it is within us. It is within who we are. It is our right, it is our honor, and it is a privilege to embrace the divine life that each one of us is living. But sometimes that gets clouded over. And sometimes we forget. But this moment is about releasing It's about letting go. We know that there is always some aspect of ourselves that we would like to change, forgive and release, things that we would like to cleanse. Things that we would like to see differently. And today's the day. So we take a few deep breaths and we go deeper into that place where we don't have to go looking for that which we need to let go. As we get into that place of peace, into that place of oneness with the allness of God, the limitations and fears, the sorrows and the regrets, the angers and the shames, surface and say, we have come to pass, not to stay. So I invite you in this quiet time to write down those things. And then when you're done, just feel free to come up and bring them to our burning bowl as a symbol of our desire to look beyond our prison walls and see so much beauty and so much life and so much awe and wonder. Just remember to let go. Good. Yeah. They're writing. Okay. Well, we'll talk for a second. Oh, we'll give Susan a chance to write. You know, every year we give a stone with this whole process of letting go. And this is because of what was written. There we go. This was written in the book of Revelation. And it says, this is to the letter to the church of Pergamum. It says, "You must repent, or I shall soon come to you and attack the people with a sword out of my mouth. If any of you have ears to hear, let him listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches. To those who prove victorious, I will give hidden manna and a white stone, a stone with a new name written on it, known only to the man who receives it." And so we'll let one of our older kids come forward.
Doing lots of stuff with Facebook, so I'm going to try to get a picture of it.
Nothing like trying to get a picture as you're letting go for Facebook. We'll make sure she gets one. All gone. Oh my. And you can take one of these.
It's disintegrated.
It did. Here we go.
Where am I coloring go?
Resistance. We'll wait.
Oh, there's color.
Okay.
Why mine doesn't do that? Because you can put it on top.
Interesting. I think we got everybody now. It's always fascinating to me as I get to sit up here and watch everybody come up, because last year when folks came up, there was a large number of people who'd put their release on top of the flame, and it would put the flame out. Okay. And this year it was just this gentle release, just a gentle letting go. It was all. We didn't put it out one time, which I'm grateful for because I haven't figured out how to use this yet. So thank you very much for cooperating this year with me. Anyway, so the stone is about when we're ready to let go of the old things and we're ready to release the things from the past. That's when we can have a new name or a new nature. We can do things differently. We can look into our future with different eyes. And so the next part of what we're going to do is you have an envelope and some note paper, And if you write what you'd like to see unfold in 2019, and then when you're done, just fold it up, put it in the envelope, address the envelope, and on the back, you'll see what your preference, whether you want it sent back to you in June or December. Some people like it after to get it back in 6 months, some a year. But just address the envelope, and then as we do our offering, we can put these in the offering bags. Yes, ma'am?
To be clear, address the envelope to yourself.
Yes, address the envelope to yourself. Because this is when you get back to reread it and see what things have changed and what things are different as you moved into the new year, how many of them were clear. I just got mine back for last year, and many of the things had already come to pass. And so when we look into 2019 with new eyes and a new nature, we look into 2019 with that vision of expectancy, all about what we've been talking about. Faith, expectancy, joy, and love. Because we love our new creations. We love our new experience. And so again, I'm going to ask Susan, if you would, to do your thing. And I'm going to invite you all for a moment just to be still. As you look into the new year, what do you see? As you look into the new year, what things would you like to be different? What things that you've never tried before, that you've always wanted to, will you allow yourself to do? What things now that you've let go, how will your world look different? I let go of that fear and my world looks like. I let go of that anger and my world looks like. And allow yourself to unfold your 2019 in most wondrous ways. And as you write your letter to yourself, feel that goodness unfold. give you a minute or two more here. Looks like everybody's just about done. So the process that we're doing and have done today is one of releasing, letting go, and then with open hands and open arms, embracing something new. In Isaiah 65, verse 17, it says, "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former things shall not be remembered, nor come to mind." When we release those things from the past, we don't need to bring them to mind anymore. We don't need to drag them up. We don't need to feel bad about them. We don't need to keep punishing ourselves with something that happened so long ago. I make things new because that's our role here. Our words awaken within us that divine presence that brings into manifestation and expression whatever it is that we ask. And so we ask for that love and peace and joy and wholeness and abundance. We ask for those things that are good. We see beyond our prison walls, and we experience a new heaven and a new earth. God bless you. Amen.
In this life, there are ups and downs. Turn your pretty face to an ugly frown. Seem like when I fix one thing, another one comes, clouding up my vision. But I can feel the sun. I know that I can do this. I know that I can win. Long as I have this love within, I believe that I can make it through the night. I believe that I can walk on with my head held high. I believe that I am special in every way. Yes, in order to have my victory, gotta believe. Yeah.
Take your time and
We have to see ourselves at that finish line. In our minds, we have to visualize that everything will fall in line for you and for me. We have to visualize the land while riding through these storms. Trust our Creator and open up our hearts. just keep believing. Thank you.
I believe.
Yay.
I believe. There was a little boy who was being baptized. I didn't tell a joke at the beginning, so now I got to do it now. The little boy was being baptized, and the minister took him into that pool. And a little boy, and he dunked him, and he brought him back up again. He said, "Do you believe?" And the little boy said, "I believe." And the minister dunked him again, brought him back up, and said, "Do you believe?" And the little boy said, "I believe." And he took and he dunked him again and brought him back up. And the minister said, "Do you believe?" The little boy said, "I believe." And the minister says, "What do you believe?" "I believe you're trying to drown me." Anyway, I had to get one in, right? You would have been disappointed. Let's prepare now for our offering by singing "I See Abundance Everywhere." In just a moment, our ushers will be receiving our offering, but before they do, as always, I like to give thanks. And I'm very thankful for 2018. I'm grateful for all the things that I've learned in 2018. I'm grateful for being able to spend all of this time with all of you. I'm grateful for people like Kevin, who kind of runs up here magically and transforms microphones that aren't working, and Gonzalo, who's back there, that all of a sudden goes like this, and everybody starts clapping, and as he's doing Facebook and video streaming and everything else that he knows what he's doing, I don't. And for the folks that take care of our Sunday school, and for the folks that help make every Sunday that we have here at Unity Church of Raleigh special, and make every Sunday that we have here, hopefully for new people, a heartwarming experience, and who have made, again, my 2018 fantastic. So, we take our love offerings in our hands and we bless them as gifts of divine love. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive. Together, please. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive. And so it is. Amen.
All right. Countdown's on.
Yay.
At the stroke of midnight on that great holiday, gonna have a ball, and that ain't all. Gonna chase the blues away. I'm bringing in a brand new year, bringing in a brand new year. Gonna have a dance, take a chance of romance, while bringing in a brand new year. Gonna be a big parade, got my resolutions made. Listen, dear, won't you meet me here while I'm bringing in a brand new year? Gonna ride a bubble way up above the stars, while I twirl around this world. Gonna take a trip to Mars. I'll be bringing in a brand new year. Oh, bringing in a brand new year. Listen, dear, won't you meet me here? I'm bringing in a brand new year. Take a seat. sigh or winks her eye, I won't be back to June. I'll be bringing in a brand new year, bringing in a brand new year. Listen, dear, won't you meet me here while bringing in a brand new year? Oh, listen, dear, won't you meet me here while bringing in a brand new year?
I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
I'm making my first resolution. I will stay awake long enough to see the ball drop.
Okay.
No. And if you haven't given in your envelope and you want it to be mailed back, see me or Melanie after the service. Father, Mother God, we are grateful for these gifts that enter this ministry, not only today, but through our 3G giving process. We bless the gift and the giver, knowing that they are one and the same and all one with you. We thank you, Father, Mother God, and so it is. Amen and amen. And now let's stand and welcome our kids back by singing We Are Walking in the Light. Got everybody back?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think Carol, where's Carol?
Right here. Straight.
There she is.
She did something lovely with her hair.
Carol's got something to say.
So it was an idea actually from Evie and my sister to create a mailbox to heaven. And it was started for the friends that were Kalen's friends, and it was used, well, the idea was brought up to use just so if they wanted to say something to her or, you know, let her know what was happening throughout the year. So I created the Letters to Heaven mailbox in honor of Kalen. So if you guys have any friends up there or would like to give a message to Kalen, that's what it's for. So
Okay, great, thank you. And also, Evie, this is the last day that we will be seeing her. So those of you that are in charge of volunteer groups, she is not going to be around to grab her and snag her for some other opportunity within the church. We are going to miss you very much. And
She is leaving today.
like, so you mean if I keep talking, she won't get to go? Ah, I see wisdom in this.
Go on forever.
So let's give Evie a very special blessing, our unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And let's bless all of our kids. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. We love, bless, and appreciate all of you also. We look forward to a wonderful 2019 and lots of exciting things going on and to do. And again, thank you for being part of my 2018, and I trust you will be part of my 2019 also. So let's remember that as we leave here today, the light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
And wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well.
And all is well.
And now let's join hands and sing yes, there is peace.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. As God has created, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
Father, Mother God, we are so grateful to know that this process of letting go and embracing something new can happen every moment of every day. It is simply for us to remember that we can let go, that we don't have to hold on to those things and accept them as finalities, that we can let go, we can embrace the new, and we can move forward into a new day every day. We thank you, Father, Mother God, and so it is. Namaste.
So it is namaste. Yay.